Solid Edge has one of the best tool sets for creating 2D working drawings, and in this tutorial I'm going to look at some of the capabilities that you may or may not know. So I'm just starting here in a 3D model. We've got lots of PMI 3D dimensions on here. So what I want to do is show that you can go straight from here into a drawing. So we can choose drawing of active model, and that takes us into specifying the template and running the wizard as well. So we can come in here. As we come in on the wizard, we can zoom in and out to define the scale, which is set up here, and we can change our views as well. So we could sort of go to the right hand view and choose that to place on here. So we then go off and choose other principal views, and I can place this one down here. This one is always going to be separate from the others, and I can change that independent of the other views as well. All views are independent of each other. They have their own set of displays. So for example, this one here, I can go in and set it to be shaded, and obviously before anything happens I need to update my views to reflect that. As you saw on the 3D model, there are lots of PMIs on here, and we can use the retrieve dimension option here and just go through, and any dimensions that are on that view will get carried through into the model here. So you just go around and pick them up. You'll see that they're sort of not ideally positioned. So from here we can use our arrange dimensions, and if we pick a view it will reset those dimensions. My personal preference is having dimensions like this. I much prefer to have the text as being horizontal, so we can go into properties, and rather than being parallel we can make that horizontal, and that makes the dimension style a lot nicer. I have another one over here, so rather than going through and doing each one individually, we do have an option to copy attributes, and under here we could copy prefixes and suffixes, type, and in this case I'm just going to go style, and if I pick on that one as the reference one, that one as the main one, we can just go through and copy that style through as we need to. So looking at some other tools, you may have an instance where you want to sort of have a part that is reference only. So we can do that here by right mouse clicking on a drawing view, go to properties, and under the display tab we have the options of showing and hiding. I'm just looking for the lid, and I am going to turn off the derived from assembly and display as reference, and that sets up a style that we can use. Anytime you see the grey box around here means that we need to update views, so we just need to update that, and you'll see that the lid here becomes effectively transparent, so it's still within the display but allows us to see through it and get a representation of the fact that there is something there, which we may want to dimension to or reference. Alternatively, there are tools to do a broken out section view. So the way this works is choose the view that you want to work to. So I'm just going to use a simple profile, circle by center, come down to this sort of corner here, and just specify an area, close out of there, that needs to be a closed profile, and then from here you can just specify how far down you want to take that, and then apply it to this view over here. And it just takes a moment to update, so you can see here that we've taken out a section of that to display it. Should you want to see those things to edit, you can right mouse click on here, go into view properties, and under the general tab there is an option here to show broken out section view profiles. So you turn that on and they will become available so that you can adjust them and edit them. We also have the ability to just go into a drawing view, and under the display tab we can actually just choose whether we want to show or hide an individual piece. So you can sort of set up different configurations and show views in different formats to work better with the way that you want to work. Another one of my favorites are quick sheets. When you have a format of a drawing that you sort of would use on a common basis, you can save it as a quick sheet. So make sure that you have a copy of the file before you go through this process. But under settings, you got create quick sheet template, just warning me that it's going to remove everything. So it just takes everything out and sort of creates a holding box for each view, so you can see the scales and whatever. From there, if you want to reuse it, you just open up the quick sheet and find a file and just drag it in from the library, and it then just automatically creates that geometry from the model. Another way of highlighting objects in a part or assembly is to add a little bit of color to a particular part. So visible is the option that is used for normal line styles. So we'll just call this a new name, and then under here we can just go in and set the color to be something like red and close that. So from there we could pick up on a view and go to properties, and then we could pick on a particular part and change its visible line style to the one that we have just assigned, and as you can see that it automatically changes the color. So it's a way of highlighting different elements within the model. One thing I will also mention is the ability to sort of add just geometry. We can go into sketching if we draw directly on here. We're drawing on the sheet, which is sort of a paper size, so you may want to sort of add geometry in, so we can go and right mouse click and go draw in view. So anything that we add in here is drawn to size in relation to the model. So anything we create there is going to be applied. So if you sort of add dimensions onto something, so this could be for anything, you know, sort of like a post-production type exercise, for example. So you can see that we are sort of fixed to that size. So if we then come back in here and change the view scale, that value there stays exactly the same, whereas if we draw on the drawing sheet, it won't. So there's many more tools available in Solid Edge 2D or in the 2D environment. You know, you can create auxiliary views, broken views, all your standard stuff. You can have a section view that is through the plane only. So if we picked up on This view here, you can have it just as a slice or as a full thing. We've got parts lists and whole tables as you'd expect. So this is just to sort of look into some of the sort of possibly lesser known items on 2D drawing. If you've got any questions, please contact me.